So if you've seen the news, you've probably already read about Kirstie Allsopp's getting in trouble, getting a lot of criticism about allowing her teenage son to go travelling around around different places in Europe and things like that, because a lot of people are saying that it's too dangerous for someone of that age to be doing those things. Now, she has come back and said that she thinks that a lot of this is caused by parents who are risk averse and don't want their children to get involved in any kind of risk, and therefore it's not good for their mental health. It's not making them mentally independent and strong enough to deal with life's little problems as they occur. Now, I would say in a general rule that that's probably true. I mean, when I was a kid, things were very different to what they are now. I used to go out on my own. At the age 8, 9, 10 years old, I used to go down the park with my friends. Now, was the world a safer place back then? I wouldn't say it necessarily was a safer place back then. I think it was just acceptable at that time for kids of that age to go out and go out with their friends and things like that. I mean, obviously we never heard of anything bad happening, but then we lived in a time when news was basically only on the radio and the TV. It wasn't spread all over the world. It wasn't on everybody's mobile phone. If you heard of something bad happening, it was usually on the evening news. So there's not so much of this bad things coming into your brain through your mobile phone that they were at the time. So there were bad people around even then, just as there are now. I wouldn't necessarily say there are more bad people now than there were then. They're probably just highlighted now compared to back when I was a kid. So I would say that children do need to develop their own resilience, shall we say, to things that might go wrong. Now, obviously, we don't want to put your kids in danger. I'm not suggesting anything like that. But I think there are some times when, yes, perhaps parents are becoming a little bit overprotective of their children, shall we say. Now, that's understandable when you consider that there's a lot of doom and gloom in the news. So everyone's going to be a little bit wary of where their kids are going to go. I mean, one of the most popular genres even on YouTube is true crime, where they have ghastly stories of children being abducted and various other things happening to them. And of course, that makes it even worse for parents who sit there taking all of this in and then worrying about where their child's going to be going. So I can understand why there are a lot of parents like that nowadays. My parents weren't exactly like that. They used to let me go out. They used to let me come back whenever I wanted. We didn't have mobile phones, so they would just give me a time to come back by, and that's pretty much how it worked. And I think that parents these days have the advantage of mobile phones that we didn't have. I mean, now you can track someone on a mobile phone. You know where they're going to be at any moment, day or night. So you can track them on their phone. You can ring them whenever you want. You can message them. It's much easier to get hold of your children now than it was in my day. So I think that there's both sides of this I can see the arguments for. I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing that she let her teenage son go out to Europe and places like that. However, obviously, you have to judge that on your own child's ability. If that child is very sensible and knows the way around, has been out before on their own, is very not worldly wise, but understands dangers and risks and things like that, then there's no real reason why you would not let him do something like that. But it has to be based on a case-by-case basis, at least I think anyway. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with Kirstie Allsopp? Do you think that parents are now becoming risk adverse and that they're seeing bad things around every corner? Or do you think that actually this is just a sensible thing because the world is a bad place? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Oh, don't forget to subscribe if you want more of this kind of content.